Hey everybody, Dr. Shawn Talbott here. Hey, we're going to talk about the fact that yet another study shows that coffee supports healthy aging. It was just presented a couple of days ago at the American Society for Nutrition Conference. And this is one of the largest nutrition conferences in the world, so it was really good to see this research come out. But before I get into the details of that study, I want you to subscribe to this channel so you get all the updates about all the lifestyle tips that we're going to be delivering. I want you to ask questions. I want you to post your comments. I want this to be a partnership deal here, all right? So let's interact here a little bit. Before I get into the details of why coffee is going to help you with successful aging, let me just recap a little bit for what we already know about the health benefits of coffee. If anybody drinks coffee now, you recognize it gives you a brain boost. It's partly due to the caffeine, because caffeine can block something in your body called adenosine. Adenosine is a chemical that you make as you burn energy, as you break down ATP in your body. There's free adenosine, and when that binds to an adenosine receptor in your brain, it makes you tired. It makes you feel sleepy. And so, if we can block that with caffeine, we feel less tired. And that's kind of interesting that caffeine doesn't really boost your energy; it reduces your feeling of tiredness. But caffeine also does other stuff, like it boosts your dopamine, so you're more motivated. It boosts your norepinephrine, so you're more focused. So the overall effect of drinking a caffeinated beverage like coffee is usually that you have sharper focus, you have better mood, you have a reduced risk for depression and Alzheimer's disease. There's really good studies that show that. But it's not just about brain benefits of coffee. Coffee can also have metabolic benefits. It can help, if you're drinking coffee on a regular basis, it can help to improve your insulin sensitivity. That's the hormone that helps you regulate blood sugar. It can reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. It can help you with better blood sugar balance. And that's mostly due to the polyphenols and the flavonoids and the other antioxidants that you find in coffee. Coffee is also good for your gut and your whole gut-brain axis. You know that coffee stimulates gastric motility, which means your gut starts to move. That's why when you drink a cup of coffee, you very often have to go to the bathroom later on. It also helps to support an overall healthy gut microbiome. Coffee can increase the abundance of certain beneficial bacteria, like bifidobacterium, for example, that produce a lot of our neurotransmitters and short-chain fatty acids. So coffee is good for digestion and mood. So what this study looked at is the frequency at which participants in the study drank coffee. They also looked at decaf. They also looked at tea. They also looked at cola, sodas. And the data came from a huge study called the Nurses' Health Study. This is a study of 47,000 women who have been followed for 30 years. And what they found was 2 to 4 cups of coffee every day across that 30-year time period was linked to women being more likely to reach what they referred to as healthy old age. They didn't look at single diseases. Instead, the way that they defined healthy old age was that you were able to live to age 70 or older and be free from 11 major chronic diseases. So they looked at diabetes, and they looked at Alzheimer's, and they looked at all the things, and you had better mental function, you had no cognitive impairment, you had no memory complaints, you had no physical issues. And what they found was 2 to 4 cups of coffee allowed you to reach that state of healthy aging on a higher percentage basis. They didn't find a link between healthy living or healthy aging and decaf or tea. And when they looked at caffeinated sodas, when they looked at people who were drinking, colas, the chances of them reaching that healthy aging point dropped by 20 to 26%. And so this really appeared to be that these healthy aging effects were due to coffee, not due to caffeine. Let's talk about caffeine for a second. How much caffeine is in 2 to 4 cups of coffee? Well, if we assume that a cup of coffee has around 100 milligrams, a little bit of differences between, where you get the beans and how you brewed them and how big your cup of coffee is. But if we think standard cup of coffee, standard brewing techniques, it's about 100 milligrams of caffeine per cup of coffee. So 2 to 4 cups is going to be 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine. But you're also getting the polyphenols and the flavonoids and, all that other stuff. I usually tell people to cut off their caffeine intake at about 400 milligrams a day. So that'd be the high end of what they looked at, four cups of coffee. And the reason for that is above 400 milligrams, your body will tend to start producing and overproducing stress hormone called cortisol. And that's going to actually interfere with your insulin sensitivity. It's going to interfere with your neurotransmitters. It's going to interfere with the signaling across your gut-brain axis. So, it's a perfect Goldilocks, situation. A little bit does, certain good things. Too much is going to be bad, right? So you want the just right amount. And the just right amount really seems to be that 2 to 4 cups that is associated with overall healthy aging. Now, is this for everybody? Probably not. If you have high blood pressure, you have sleep issues, you have anxiety, you might want to refrain from 2 to 4 cups of coffee. There's also a wide range of, personal tolerability to caffeine. Some people tolerate it really well. Some people don't. When I'm drinking a cup of coffee, I'm actually drinking half calf. So I can drink double the number of cups in a day, and I can get all those polyphenols and all those flavonoids, but I get it at a lower dose of caffeine. So there you have it. Coffee, one of the healthiest beverages on the entire planet. You just have to watch all the things that they might put in it. If you go to the coffee shop and you're adding a lot of sugar or cream, or you're getting a frappuccino, which is basically a milkshake, that's not going to give you the same benefits. But if you watch those additives, you can enjoy your cup of coffee, you can get your brain benefits, you can get your metabolism benefits, you can get your gut benefits, you can really, really up-level your performance and enjoy that cup. I'll see you next time.